Hi, my name is Jean Johnson, and I'm originally from the United States, but by way of living in Singapore for a few years, I met my husband, who's Scottish, and that's why I now live in Scotland. And I'm a clarinettist. I've played all my life. Used to play in the Singapore Symphony for some years, and upon moving to Scotland, I started to try to pursue my own dreams of being an independent musician, chamber musician, doing more independent type projects around the UK and abroad as well. I met Derek through a mutual friend named Pete Furness, another fantastic clarinet player, and Pete suggested me for some work that he wasn't able to take on, and that's what got Derek and I sort of collaborating together professionally, and since then there's been plenty of meetups at local area concerts and pubs and the things that the local musicians tend to do around town. Derek wrote this opera Medea, and its original configuration was for piano, clarinet, bass clarinet I should specify, and soprano, and with a view to it being orchestrated later. And it was a really great opportunity to get to know Christina Dunwoody, who is a fabulous dramatic soprano who is just perfect for capturing the complexity and depth of the Medea character. Her voice has a really, when necessary, has that fantastic dark quality. So she was a tremendous person to work with as well. The rehearsals were really easygoing and relaxed, but despite us all working very hard. So it was an opportunity for me also to explore what the bass clarinet is capable of, which is a tremendous instrument, capable of a lot of tone colors, and it has a massive range. And it was really fun for me to get the chance to sink my teeth into something big like that for the bass clarinet, because Derek did write for the entire range of the bass clarinet, using it in a lot of different capacities, both collaborative and very much solo and exposed. And some of the Medea music went into the jazz idiom, and that was really fun to explore on the bass clarinet. It's just the perfect instrument for that. Well, getting to know this music from scratch, we ended up with the PDFs sent to us and trying to make sense of the score, see how it all fits together. Derek also sent along very helpfully some, the bare bones MIDI files, which helps you get a very rough sense of the pace of things and who plays with whom. And then just starting to find the character in the music and put your own personality into it. And I found it was really easy to work with Christina and Derek. We had a really nice time. Again, working very hard, uncovering the details, uncovering the character of what's going on. The bass clarinet was chosen by Derek possibly because of its powerful and dramatic range of both notes and also tone colors, and the many different interesting characters that it can uncover, from very melancholy, soloistic, broody kind of things to really kickin' jazz idiom type things, jazz rhythms, swing, and it functioned sometimes as a string bass, and it functioned sometimes as another voice, and sometimes as a clarinet, as you might imagine the soprano clarinet functions. So it took on a lot of different roles to give the impression of the orchestra, and I think it was pretty effective. If you had to whittle the opera down to a trio, I think it was a really good choice to use the bass clarinet, because it can go quite high, and obviously it has a very meaty low range as well, so it can function as a string bass. The other members of the trio were Derek at the time, who I'm not sure he thought he was going to be the pianist to begin with, but as it turned out, he ended up doing it, taking on a massive job, as if composing it wasn't enough. Then he had to go behind the piano and play his very demanding music. And then there's Christina Dunwoody, who I didn't know very much about her then, but I know a bit more about her now. She's quite a powerhouse of a singer, done a lot of dramatic roles to rave reviews, and I found her a really interesting singer to work with. What I really enjoyed most about working on Medea was getting to sink my teeth into my bass clarinet playing and to dig deeper into the instrument as a solo instrument. And the music was left kind of wide open for me to interpret in a lot of places, and it was really fun to put together some of the more exposed solos and find my own voice with it. I hadn't spent that much time on the bass clarinet in a while at the time I played Medea, so it was a really great opportunity for me to spend more time on an instrument that's really amazing. It's got so much potential. I think it's untapped potential. You don't often hear a lot of solo bass clarinet music. It is out there, but obviously, you don't see it as often as soprano clarinet. So it was really fun to play a whole concert just on the bass clarinet, nothing else. And you're down in the basement of the instrument, and Derek also had me up in the stratosphere of the instrument as well, playing in a variety of different styles within the same work. From 1 minute you're playing what sounds like Wagner, and the next minute you're playing a jazz bass line. And so it was just really fun to use the instrument in a variety of different ways. Derek was great to work with. He was very open to the ideas of other people and flexible when we had a suggestion or an idea. He let us have a fair bit of creative license. Whilst he had a vision for how the music should be, he wasn't dogmatic about it and was open to other ideas and input. And that's really nice. You know, musicians don't like to turn up and have everything dictated to them, how you play every note. And you know, Derek didn't do that. He really let us find our voice with his music, which was nice. Derek is unique in that he wrote his orchestration, it seemed pretty fearless. He didn't seem deterred by, you know, by range. You know, he was willing to push the range of the voice and of the bass clarinet. He wasn't afraid to write in a challenge, if you know what I mean. And I think if I had said to Derek, this just isn't workable, this isn't possible, I think he would have listened to that without any problem and said, okay. But nothing he wrote was unplayable. It was playable. He just pushed the limit. And to be honest, it was great fun to be challenged that way and very rewarding. I just remember having an awful lot of pages, an enormous amount of pages to deal with, and my biggest challenge was how to put the pages together without them falling off the stand, but I found a way.